Hi, I'm Delegate Patrick Hope, representing Arlington's 47th District. Welcome to my weekly legislative update, where I fill you in on some of the legislation I'm working on for the people of the Commonwealth, but also bring you valuable insight on some of the important bills working their way through the legislature. This was a busy week at Thomas Jefferson's Capitol. Monday was Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, where we traditionally have thousands come to the General Assembly building to lobby their legislators. The week started out where we learned that Governor Terry McAuliffe had suffered several broken ribs from a fall a few weeks ago he had to be hospitalized for much of the week. Fortunately, he'll be fine, but it reminded me of my rib injury last May and how so many Virginians are without health insurance and don't have the luxury to get the proper care that they need. If we want a strong economy, no Virginian should go without access to high-quality, affordable health care. I was honored to present the House Democratic Caucus position on health care at a press conference this week. A couple of points of how health impacts our economy. First, families are just one accident or illness away from debt or financial ruin. Secondly, a healthy workforce is a more productive workforce. And third, coverage leads to massive job creation. 30,000 good paying jobs if we expanded health care, and $2 billion per year in economic benefit just here in Virginia. Notwithstanding, the majority of states are taking full advantage of the Affordable Care Act, and I would point out a third of which are Republican states. It's fiscally conservative to do this. Right now, Virginia is double taxing its residents by doing nothing. Why, you might ask? The Affordable Care Act imposes a tax on wealthy Virginians that goes to Washington with no benefit coming right here to Virginia. We're continuing a decades-long trend of higher premiums and co-pays from expensive, uncompensated care delivered in hospitals. The market needs to stabilize, and by bringing more people into the marketplace, we'll be able to find stabilization. We're spending $200 million in our annual budget for indigent care and mental health services that could be spent elsewhere. Doing nothing is simply unacceptable. The House Democrats believe we should join the majority of states to expand access to care for 400,000 working Virginians, more than 30,000 of which, I'll point out, are Virginia's veterans. Now, I have a bill that I introduced, House Bill 2212, called the Virginia Healthy Transitions Program. This rejects Medicaid expansion and instead uses the money to drive people into the private health insurance market. It contains no cost containment provisions dealing with fraud, abuse, co-pays, job training, emphasis on prevention, and quality improvement. Still another option on a much smaller scale is a bill I introduced. It's a constitutional amendment, House Joint Resolution 520, that I have filed to exempt free clinics and community health centers from paying property taxes. I've heard from healthcare professionals from all over the state that support this amendment to our Constitution, as it would free up costs to serve thousands more uninsured Virginians. In Arlington, this would mean the Arlington Free Clinic would save nearly $15,000 a year, serving hundreds of more low-income Virginians in the county. Providing health care should not be a partisan issue. The uninsured are all over Virginia. They're in the rural parts and the urban parts of our state. The excuses to do nothing are tired and not based on the facts. It's time we stop putting our narrow political interest ahead of the people's interest and do what's best for Virginia's working families. Well, that's the update for this week. Next week, we'll know more about the fate of the legislation promoting gun safety in the Commonwealth and efforts to end discrimination and to make Virginia a more inclusive and inviting place to live and work and play. If I can ever be of assistance to you, please contact my office through my website at hopeforvirginia.org or call my office at 804-698-1047. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you right here next week.